There's no end to really nosy people, so let's deal with it together. How's it going? I'm Amelia Sims. This is Reinventing You, the channel where you can be inspired to reinvent yourself so that you can live an authentic life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. I post twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the evening, and I'm glad that you are here. If you have already subscribed to this channel, I invite you to click on the bell notification. That way you will be notified whenever I post a new video. People are always going to want to know what you're up to. How do you handle that when you're reinventing yourself? One of my more popular videos is dealing with nosy people, and I have the link up here where you can watch that video. If you click on that now, then it will send you immediately to the video. You can watch it, and then when it ends, it'll come back to this one. I will also have it on the end screen. That's the screen at the very end when I play the music, and I think one of the reasons why that video is so popular is that people really want to know, how do you deal with people who want to stick their nose in your business? This can be especially difficult if you're reinventing yourself, because you are making this change. And when you make any kind of change in your life, whether you're losing weight or you're going through a divorce or separation or even career change, that's usually a big thing. Anytime you make those kinds of changes, people are going to notice, and they're going to want to know all kinds of things. They're going to want to know why. What are you doing? What's changed? How are you going about it? Sometimes you can feel like answering them, but other times it's like, it's really not any of your business. So how do you handle that? In my own experience, I've learned a couple of things because the questions have not ended yet. One of the things is choose how you want to answer them. You can be really rude and say it's none of your business, but is that really what you want to do? I think the best thing is maybe to have a stock answer. Like now I can tell people, I didn't tell people at first, especially people from my former church, if I saw them, I never told them. Now I say, oh, I started a YouTube channel. And interesting how the reaction you get. Some people are like, oh, that's cool. And other people are like, I usually tell them that. I tell them about some of my part-time jobs that I have. I usually stop there. I usually try to figure out, okay, how can I tell people in a little bit of time without revealing my whole life history or everything about reinventing, unless it's somebody that I really want to inspire to go on their own reinventing journey. And that doesn't happen too often with people that I've known for a while or have known me, especially as a pastor. That's really kind of awkward. So I try not to go overboard with that. But if somebody I don't know very well, I might, just say, I'm doing this. Have you ever been through something like this? Or have you ever been through a major change like I'm going through? So after I have my really pat answer or my canned answer or my really short, sweet answer to the question of what I'm doing right now, I then try to turn it around and reflect back to them. Try to get it away from me and back to them. Not because I'm ashamed of anything that I'm doing, but if it's somebody from my past who knew me and my role as a pastor, or I was their pastor, then they may feel like they have some sort of claim on me, like they think they can direct me and my thoughts. When I'm talking with somebody, I really don't want to get all their advice, and that usually happens. So one of the things that I try to do when people ask me, what are you up to? What are you doing? All this kind of stuff. I might tell them a little brief story, and then I'll turn around and talk about our child who's getting ready, not quite there yet, but getting ready for college, because that's usually a big thing. And oh my gosh, I've had more recommendations for colleges, which is fine. It's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But it really does help because it gets them away from all of my stuff and puts it out there. It's now another subject. It's now something else. It's something they know about. It's helpful for me. It's not intrusive. It's not looking at me and picking apart my life, but it's bringing up the big picture. And I was trying to think of some other things you can think of. There may be something in your life where you can redirect somebody in a particular way. Maybe you can talk about your spouse who's about to retire. Maybe you can talk about some of the trips that you're planning or are planning, if you're saying, okay, well, I'm planning this trip to Ireland. Have you ever been to Ireland? Or if you've been to Europe, what do you know about this airline? Or, whatever it is that you can go from whatever you're nosy question, give them a pat answer, give them a small answer, give them an answer where they can't nitpick to pieces, and turn it around. If it's somebody who's really, really nosy, don't linger. I remember recently I saw somebody, I hadn't seen them in a while, and they're extremely nosy. And not only are they going to be nosy, but they're also going to give me all kinds of unwanted advice. I was quick, how you doing? Good to see you, blah, 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 blah. And I moved on. I did not linger. I had to go see somebody else. You just have to kind of plan ahead because it's going to happen. Somebody's going to want to know, what are you up to? Why are you reinventing yourself? Why are you making these changes? Who told you could do that? You're crazy. I think you need to try this diet. Or have you seen such and such a counselor at such and such a church? Or, whatever it is, do it quickly. You have got to be prepared because people are going to ask those questions that you don't need all of their unwanted advice. You don't need their opinion. It's not important for you. They're not one of those essential people, which I've talked about before, and I've got a link to that about the 1-inch square piece of paper people. 1-inch square piece of paper people. Anyway, they're not the essential people that you really want to know how they're feeling or what's going on in their lives. So make sure, if you want to deal with people and unwanted advice and nosy questions, figure out what you're going to say to them. And it could be, one person, you're going to tell a little bit more information than the other person, but have that answer ready and have the way you're going to flip that around so that they can give you advice on something that might be helpful, or it's away from being something as personal as what they're being nosy about. Learn how to flip it around. It's not an easy thing to do. You're going to have to practice it, and it may take a while, and you may be frustrated with the process, but oh my gosh, you're going to save yourself so much heartache and grief over people who just want to be nosy and stick their noses into where they have no business being. How to deal with unwanted advice, have a canned answer or pat answer, and learn how to turn it around. I hope this is helpful for you. Please leave a comment below if you have a way that you deal with nosy people and unwanted advice. Don't forget to hit the bell or click on the bell if you are already a subscriber. And hey, if you're not a subscriber, then you can both subscribe and click on the bell today. I'm Amelia. This is Reinventing You, where you can be inspired to take an authentic journey of reinventing so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. Have a great one.